Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mental Uplift Podcast, where we will be discussing the importance of mental health, self-care, and everything life-related, and just the importance of mental health overall. I am your host, Britney.
And Joey. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about what this podcast stands for, mental health awareness in general, what it means to us, our personal experiences, etc. Let's dive in.
All right, we dive straight in. What does the podcast stand for?
Yeah, so there's basically, I feel like we can just give a little backstory. And so far, I feel like we have had a plan to start this podcast for a good amount of time. Yeah, we've had almost everything, and we've just been waiting for the perfect time to get everything started. And today is the day to start recording some stuff. So we're excited. We're really choosing to do this podcast in hopes of touching lives around us, lives nowhere near us. Like, we just want to be a guide for anyone we can be, or, just be light in a dark world.
Yeah, genuinely just wanting to be, like he said, a light. There's a lot of darkness in our generation, and this generation has been the woke generation. Mental health awareness is a big thing with our generation. So learning and navigating and just overall just going through some of the things that we've gone through in private, some of the things that we've gone through that others may have gone through that they don't know how to navigate it. We just want to be a tool and a light.
A safe space.
Yeah, a safe space. Not only a safe space, just a judge-free zone. And we'll go deeper into that as the episodes come. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That is definitely a priority. Being a safe space, making sure we're open, honest with our experiences so that, we give you genuine information and just updates, whatever that may look like, just to invite everyone to be open with us, because we definitely have talked about things that we can do where people may message us, email us, whatever concerns they may be having at the moment, or anything they want to speak on. So we look forward to really, really, really be a safe space for people to express themselves through this podcast. That's definitely a top priority. And then I know that as far as dropping stuff, we are taking it day by day, just kind of building, seeing what we can do. We plan to drop bi-weekly videos. All right.
And also on the Mental Uplift Podcast, we are going to be navigating ways for our viewers to submit requests for different topics to discuss on the podcast. Depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, a lot of the deep topics. You send us different ideas and we'll touch base on it. If there's a specific situation that you need us to advise you on, you can definitely let us know. We will be navigating that and we can discuss it. Anonymously is the biggest and important thing. I think you just said that.
Yeah.
Because we understand that sometimes we need some advice, but we don't want to share, if that's what what you're struggling with personally. So that's something we'll definitely be doing on the podcast.
Yeah, there's something I'm thinking of on how it can be done anonymously and effectively. We don't know 100% yet, but once we have that information, we'll definitely probably make our own little separate video for social media on how that can be done.
Yeah, and on the podcast, we're going to have occasional guests from people who have struggled with mental health concerns. So OCD, depression, anxiety. So outside of our experiences, you're going to see outsiders also discuss some of the things that they've struggled with and they've overcame. So that'll be something that I definitely look forward to, some guest speakers on our podcast for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. And then overall, the last thing that we're really concerned about is making sure that we spread nothing but positivity. We want to have serious, deep conversations that also include laughter, that include, just being open and honest. I feel like we say that over and over again already.
Yeah.
Just because it's just a main concern. I feel like it's when you are going to do something like this, it's one of the most important things because it's just about being transparent. And that's how I feel like people are going to receive and actually want to hear us rather than just thinking that, we don't know what we're talking about, just saying anything. We don't care about anyone. It's like, just want to be open, honest, and genuine. And if you can connect to that, then even if one person can connect to that, that's all that I care about.
Yeah. It's not going to be like a formal, I guess you could say a formal podcast, but more so just an open conversation between us and you, and just something that you can continue to rewatch. So it's not something that you're going to see like a preppy.
Yeah, honestly, we don't know how to do a podcast at all.
Like, I'm going to, it's just supposed to be a conversation.
We have no clue on really how to do a podcast. Brittany actually brought it up. She said that she would do a podcast, and I'm like, let's do it then. And I think like a week later, I got all of the setup stuff, and we just started getting into it. We don't know. We just know truly that we want to do this. We want to connect to people, and that's what we went off of. And now we're going with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the first things, just to kind of get into it, get into a little bit of a conversation to give some insight. One of the first things we can talk about is what we believe mental health to be and why we believe it to be important.
Yeah.
You want me to start with that?
Yeah. So what is mental health to you, and why is it important?
Okay. So I did some research, and one of the best kind of, I guess, definitions that really stood with me, it's kind of a broken down definition, is mental health is a person's condition with regard to their psychological and emotional well-being. It is how we are feeling inside or how we are emotionally. So I feel like that is what sometimes I honestly feel like I have to remind myself what exactly is mental health so that I can continue to make sure, because I feel like with some of like the past where it's like mental health is regarded, the actual like what is mental health gets like watered down, and it's like, I don't know if that is a mental health issue or if that's just something that somebody else is saying that I'm just tripping over or something like that. So that's why I have to kind of remind myself what mental health is, and I look back at this to remember so that I can kind of gauge what I'm feeling and move forward with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when we think of mental health, well, for me personally, when I think of mental health, my brain goes straight to like the mental health disorders and how they're just brushed under the rug. And some of those mental health disorders I have here list it's depression, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, social anxiety disorder, and there's specific phobias that people struggle with. So just navigating those mental health disorders. When I think of like good mental health, I think of the different things that you can do to help when you have a mental health disorder. So as someone like myself, I struggle with anxiety. Like that's one of my biggest mental health battles is anxiety. And so maintaining a good mental health status, like for me, and like the importance of it is just, I think it's just navigating it and how to not get rid of it. Or how can I get rid of anxiety? The truth is it's never really going to go away. It's just how you're able to manage it, how you're able to live day to day knowing that you have anxiety and that it's normal, and just how to maintain a healthy mental health. So I think mental health is just more so like if there was a way to put it into an image, kind of like a meter, and then this is like good mental health, this is bad mental health, and just how to stay afloat, because some days you're going to be down here and then some days you're going to be up here, and it's just how to navigate it and what that day-to-day mental health navigation looks like.
Yeah, I feel like that is one of the biggest struggles, because people like automatically, I've seen people think, how can I get rid of this? And they go through a certain amount of time. It's always different for everybody. It could be like a couple weeks or a couple months, a couple years. It could be never. but they go through it thinking, how can I get rid of this? How can I get rid of this? And they never get to the point, or it takes a long time to get to the point where they realize, I'm not going to get rid of this. How can I live with this?
Right. I think that's an important realization as well, is that I think for me, when I first started struggling with anxiety, I think I've always had it, but it peaked for me with postpartum anxiety. And for the moms out there, we'll be having episodes specifically on postpartum and how to navigate that as a survivor of postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression. That's something I hold near and dear to my heart. But as far as that realization of, okay, this is a part of me, I have to carry this every single day, and how to navigate it. I think this is going to be so great to dive into that and like what that looks like, whether it be this episode or not this episode. But that's definitely like the biggest step is like, okay, I feel this way. I need to realize, or I need to kind of come to an agreement that, okay, this is like I said, this is a part of me. So yeah, that's step one. So if you're here and you're watching this, it's likely that you have some questions or some type of concern of any choice. And we just want to be a light to remind you overall, this main video just to introduce the purpose of this podcast. And if you're here, it is likely that you have an idea or you have some feeling of that you may have a mental strength or a mental incapability. You feel like you need help somewhere. And we're here to just let you know that we're going to be here to guide you, whether you want to share, with your name or without your name. We're going to be here to guide you through that whole process. But if you're here and that this is one of the biggest steps, is just realizing, okay, I need help, and how can I seek that help? And if it comes from a podcast, a therapist, Jesus, is either way, we're here to guide you in all aspects. And definitely a big thing that we'll be discussing is how important it is to navigate faith when struggling with a mental health disorder. As we know, and we'll go deeper into mental health. So deep. It goes so deep. But just to give you a little idea of something else we'll talk about is navigating faith and mental health concerns. That's a big thing. Sometimes we know just one of the statements, just pray it away. Sometimes you can't pray it away. And so we'll definitely discuss what that looks like and just how to maintain a strong faith and be able to navigate mental health. So, yeah.
Definitely. We have a whole list of things that we are excited to dive into. So, as we continue to get some time to get this stuff together, we're going to do that. We're going to, like we said, have the guests on to talk about their personal experiences, because it's like one of the things about, all mental health is everybody goes through it differently. Mm-hmm. There is not two people who go through it the exact same way. Right. So having the different people to share their different experiences is not only going to be helpful for anybody watching, but it'd probably be helpful for us in general to hear people, because we definitely, we speak with each other all the time. Right. And we see each other's point of views, and this is going to be a new way for us to see new point of views that we can take into our day-to-day lives. Yeah. So I feel like it's definitely an important piece to the overall goal and what we want to achieve. All right. And overall, with the Mental Uplift Podcast, we are here to uplift. Self-explanatory in the name. Yes. Yeah. We're here to uplift you. We're here to listen to you, to guide you, to overall just be a friend, be friends to you. If we don't know you, we still love you. You mean so much. And if you're here and if you feel like mentally you're struggling, you're loved. It's so normal. You're not alone. We struggle every single day mentally. I know I do. I know you do. I have so many loved ones that have suffered in silence, and it's time to move forward. It's time to just learn to love yourself with everything that comes with you. So again, if there's any topics that you feel that you want us to talk about, definitely just let us know. We'll be navigating that a little bit more. And we just hope that you enjoyed our introduction video and that we've answered all of your questions. But as always, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to drop them in the comment section, to DM us if you know us personally. But if you don't, again, we'll navigate that, and where you can send us questions and concerns. And overall, just thank you for watching, and thank you for being here. Thank you for staying strong. We know how hard it is to wake up and to be able to even go on YouTube and look up a video about mental health. So thank you for being here. Thank you for fighting. And just thank you for being you and for being who you are. So
I think that's all that I have to say as your host, Brittany. I'm going to pass it on to my wonderful husband. As always, we're here, and so I can't wait to do this with you. Another note here is I'm so proud of where we are. It's taken us 2 months to get here.
Yeah.
We have babies, just to sum it up, we have 2 babies, very young babies. And so it's a lot to get here, and I'm sure you parents that are watching this, if you're not parents, kids are crazy. So but I'm so proud that we're able to do this, and I'm excited to share all the things that we've gone through in a marriage, as friends, as best friends. So I'm just overall very excited to be able to do this with you and to help others, because we've helped. This is another thing, we've helped so many people overcome things, and we say that in the most humble way. We just want to do that with other people that we may not come across every single day. So even if we don't have like the closest friendship, we hope that this can bring us friendships and just bring just love and light to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think she definitely hit a lot of points. we really, really, really are super excited. Me personally am like super excited, like beyond excited to do this. I'm hoping that everything turns out exactly how we wanted to. My expectations for this is, like I said before, to touch at least one person. If I can help one person, then my goal has been achieved, and this is great. We're going to have so much fun with this. We are going to really share, and my satisfaction out of this will be hearing people say that, we've been able to help them. Somebody who we've had on was able to help you. So that's really my goal here. And I feel like I'm super excited too. And I just really want us to move forward and have a great time with this and really enjoy everything that we learn together. I feel like you guys may not know us, but we will get to know each other together, and we are going to learn everything together and grow together.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to close off, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on social media. We do have a TikTok page where we'll be posting snippets of our videos. If you can't watch the full video, we know life gets busy. Definitely follow us on TikTok and on Instagram.
Yeah. But we also are going to have our video podcast on YouTube. We are going to upload the sound podcast onto Spotify and onto Apple Podcasts as well. And then we're going to go from there to see exactly where else we can put this on. But we're going to try to get as much places as possible so that we can make this available to everybody.